Canada, wake up. The real virus is not the one that Trudeau purports. Rather, it's the one he fuels, the woke mind virus. It will seek to destroy all that is built and replace it with soulless, nationless leaders who only seek to exploit and systemize our lives. We have the choice: save the foundations our country stands on, or let them be taken away. You choose.
A monument to Canada's first Prime Minister on a pedestal in the nation's first capital. Tomorrow, the likeness of Sir John A. Macdonald will be gone.
A statue is not so much a place of learning, so much as it is like a representation or a glorification of a particular figure, right? So I think that the city doing that is a goodwill gesture to Indigenous people.
I implore Council.
Kingston City Council voted last night to move the statue into storage and eventually to the cemetery where he is buried.
My tenure as mayor, this is by far the most divisive, polarizing issue that I've seen.
Kingston's mayor voted in favor of removing the statue, saying he's proud of some parts of Macdonald's history, but not all of it.
The name of Macdonald is all over the city. We've understood it as an opportunity for education, that every visitor, every school group, every tourist, and every resident, when they're here in Kingston, would have an opportunity to learn the good and the bad of Macdonald's legacy.
In a city wrapped in Macdonald's name, from schools to trains, opinions on the statue's removal are mixed.
I have a real issue with it. It's part of our history. He's our first Prime Minister. He's one of the architects of this country.
We just have to choose who we appreciate, and who we respect or admire. Like, I don't learn history from statues, I learn it from books.
And what they don't understand.
Resident Mark O'Farrell says the statue's removal is an example of cancel culture run amok.
And therefore we need to erase them. And everybody suddenly gets on this bandwagon. It's ridiculous. There comes a point where you have to say no.
An historic church in northern Alberta has been destroyed by fire. That church has stood in Gruyard, a hamlet near High Prairie, since 1901. Police suspect arson, and as Nicole Weisberg reports, some community members are feeling the loss deeply.
And he says, "Look, Mom," he just like in a frantic voice. He says, "The church is burning."
Lori Anderson was waiting for her son and grandkids to pull up for an afternoon visit when she got the startling news.
And I said, "Oh my God," I was just in such disbelief.
The only church in her community, about 1 block away from her home, was burning. A church where her family has made years and years of memories.
My kids, they were baptized, they did their first communion. Lost my mother 9 months ago. We brought her to the church because she loved the church.
Fire crews were called to Gruyard St. Bernard Catholic Church around 3:30 p.m. Church officials say the fire was put out around 7. This is what's left.
4 years in prison. That is the sentence for a woman who burned a Surrey church and torched a townhouse when people were inside. But questions about the reasons behind the acts of arson remain unanswered. CTV's Michelle Bernaro has more.
It used to be a church, a place of gathering for hundreds. That is until last July when Kathleen Paddock decided to light the church on fire.
To us, it's just horrible that what happened. It's just going to be very difficult for us to rebuild.
It wasn't the first time she tried to torch St. George Coptic Orthodox. Video surveillance captured her just days earlier starting a smaller fire by igniting door decorations. And in March of that year, Paddock also torched a townhome, forcing the people inside to flee.
Nobody with conscience, nobody with heart would do something like that.
I wanted to be here just to understand why. Why did she do this? And I leave the courtroom not really understanding why.
We care about equality. We care about reconciliation. We care about justice. It has never been more clear that everything is interwoven. But again, conservative politicians just don't get that. They don't connect the dots. They either say investing in Canadians is a waste of money, or that our policies are too woke. Too woke? Hey, Pierre Poilievre, it's time for you to wake up. Wake up. Wake up to the fact